Welcome to Lesson 3, the contribution of small business to the economy. I'm going to try and speak a bit louder in this video. I haven't purchased a decent mic yet, and I got some feedback from the last video that people couldn't hear it. So look, if I'm speaking too loud, then maybe just turn down your volume, and I'll have a new mic as soon as I possibly can. So in today's lesson, we're looking at the contribution of small business to the economy. Firstly, we need to have a quick talk about what an economy actually is. It's an abstract concept. An economy is set up to answer three basic questions, and I'd like to talk about an example as I'm addressing these three questions. So I've chosen the Sherrin Football Company. So the first question an economy answers is, what goods and services are produced? So who decides that Sherrins are going to be made? The second question is, how do we produce these goods and services? So who decides how Sherrins are made? And the third question is, how are these goods and services distributed? So who gets the Sherrins? Who gets the footballs? Does the government decide? Does the Prime Minister decide? Or do you decide, the consumer? So the basic answer to all these questions in Australia, with the majority of products and services, goods and services, is the consumer decides. The consumer decides that they want a football, they're willing to pay for a football, so then a business makes it. They make it according to way, in some ways, how the consumer wants it made. For example, if the Sherrin football is made of a type of material that the consumer thinks is unethical, then the business will probably react to the consumer and do it in a more environmentally friendly way. And the last one is, basically, the consumers decide who gets the football or any good or service by going into the shop and buying it. Now, this is not true of all goods and services, but this is a basic principle of the Australian economy, that consumers, via their actions, answer these three questions. So, what contributions do small businesses make to the economy? We're now going to look through more specific examples quite quickly. So, contribution to employment. Employment is part of an economy. Approximately 50% of all private sector employees are from small business. So that is a clear piece of data here that tells us that a small business contributes significantly to employment in Australia. Contribution to taxation. So small business, in fact, collect GST. So if you go into your fish and chip shop and you buy your flake, then there is a little bit of GST on that flake. The shop collects that, they hold it for a certain amount of time, and then they pay it to the government on your behalf. Businesses pay business tax, so obviously more revenue for the government. And linking back to the last topic we talked about in terms of business contributing to employment, if a person's employed in small business, they also have a personal income tax. So more money going to the government. So again, this is evidence to suggest that small business contributes a lot to the economy. Small business contributes to economic growth. Now, economic growth occurs when the value of goods and services in a country increases over a set period of time. So more things are produced, essentially. Now, small business, given that 96% of businesses are small business, quite clearly has a significant contribution to economic growth. Small business have a significant contribution to export earnings. So exports are sales of goods and services to other countries. In Australia, about $1.2 billion comes from sales to other countries. This is outstanding for the Australian economy because money comes into the country that we normally didn't have. So it makes Australia a richer country. And richer means that we can have more things, more material goods to help us enjoy our life, and or help us with our health and things like that. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your contributions on the wiki. Thank you.